welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 3 of Revolution Week. Today is the turn of the Revolution Pro Foundation drops. If you are interested in knowing how these apply, whether it's sheer coverage, whether it's buildable to medium to full coverage, and how these go on throughout the day, then please keep watching. Okay, so first things first, a little bit of an update on the review that I did yesterday, the Camouflage Foundation. If you haven't seen that review, I will link it up here for you to watch before you watch this one. I used that with the baking oil yesterday, and the side that I used the baking oil on was still perfect after 16 hours. So I just wanted to get that in for you before I moved on to the drops. I am going to be using this again on half of my face today to see how it performs and whether it performs just as well with a water-based foundation as it did with the Super Full Coverage foundation. Okay, so moving on to the Revolution Pro Foundation drops. I have been so excited to try these out. This is sheer to medium coverage, and I think, fingers crossed, this is going to be a drugstore foundation that is going to be absolutely beautiful on a more mature skin. So I'm going to test that out today. So the bump on this product, it says it's a silky finish and it should be a breathable base. It comes in 18 shades, just like the Camouflage foundation, which I think there should be more, but they do say the spectrum is quite wide. They say this is very, very lightweight and it's water-based, so it may not mix very well with the baking oil, but we will see. It says it's from sheer to medium coverage. It is definitely buildable, so we are going to test that out. I am going to prep my face and I will be right back. Okay, so I have already prepped my skin with my serums and moisturizers. Just like yesterday, I am going to add a couple of drops of the baking oil to the left side of my face to see if it adds any luminosity to my skin and also if it helps with the longevity of the foundation. So just a couple of drops. This really, really helped yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go and watch. So I'm just patting that into my skin. I'm avoiding around the nose area and on the chin, which is where I have my oily skin anyway. Don't want that to be any oilier. Okay, so let's get some of the Revolution Pro Foundation drops on my skin. This is in the shade F4, which is exactly the same shade as I had in the Camouflage foundation yesterday. See how this comes out. I am going to put it on my hand, not directly with the dropper on my skin, because I think I just look a bit of an idiot doing that, to be quite honest. This is very, very liquidy, obviously, with them being drops. Might have to work with this quite quickly. Let's see how that goes on. I'm using a brush. It does say online that their Revolution Pro Foundation droplet brush is the best one to use. I don't think it's necessary to buy everything Revolution Pro for this makeup to work. If you have to use their brush, it's not a very good foundation. So I'm going to use my own. This is the brush that I always use. It's a Zoeva 103 buffing brush. This is going on really beautifully. It's very, very sheer coverage. It does say it's buildable to medium, so we're going to check that out in just a minute. This is very hydrating. It's very, very light at the moment. I love it. Gone on really smoothly, effortless to blend, doesn't dry too quickly like some water-based foundations do. Some water-based foundations you have to work with so quickly, otherwise they stick to the skin and they're really hard to blend out. This was completely the opposite, really beautiful to blend. So I'm going to try the foundation on the side that I've got the oil. So that also went on completely effortlessly. It is a lot shinier on the side that I put the oil on. Maybe the oil wasn't really necessary this morning. We'll see later on whether that was a mistake putting that on. This is a really, really beautiful foundation. It's so light. Okay, so the foundation is really sheer It's actually got more of a coverage on the side that I didn't have any oil on, so it looks like the oil may have diluted the formula a little bit on my left hand side. I'm really happy with the coverage that this has given, but for the purpose of science, let's see if it's buildable. I think for somebody like my mum, I would leave it just like this. Okay, so it's definitely buildable. It does say it's sheer to medium coverage. This is definitely medium coverage, if not more. It's got a really nice sheer glow to it. So yesterday when I used the camouflage foundation, the side where the oil was on my pores actually looked smaller. That isn't the case today. The side where I didn't put the oil on this side of my face, my pores look a little bit smaller. Now when that oil sinks in a little bit later on, that might not be that way. But I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look. I've gone for a very, very natural look today, just like I did with the camouflage foundation yesterday. Didn't want to be piling the products on top of the foundation. I'd want the foundation to speak for itself. And it definitely does. This is such a beautiful foundation. It doesn't feel like I've got anything on my face, unlike yesterday's. This is super hydrating. It feels really nice on the skin. It doesn't feel like you've actually got anything there. At first, when I put the foundation on the oil side, it did feel a little bit tacky. That has completely gone now, and now the oil has sank into my skin, my pores look practically non-existent. So I was a little worried earlier. I didn't need to be. Both sides look absolutely beautiful. It didn't completely airbrush my pores immediately, but as soon as I've put the powder on to set this in place, you can't really see my pores at all, which is always a good thing. I'm not sure whether I preferred the foundation with just one layer on before I built it up to medium to full coverage. This has definitely got a couple of tricks up its sleeve, so you can have this foundation as completely sheer coverage and it just evens out your skin tone and it's absolutely beautiful, or you can build this up to medium coverage. So there are several ways you can wear this foundation, which yesterday this was full coverage or full coverage or full coverage. So the foundation drops, you can have it sheer, you can have it medium, you can even build it up to medium to full coverage, I would say. I am super impressed with this foundation so far. It feels really lovely on my skin. I haven't used any concealer other than the concealer underneath my eyes to hide my under eye circles. So all the blemishes that I had earlier have been covered up solely by the foundation alone. I'm going to go about my day with the kids and I will check in with you a little bit later on and tell you how the foundation has done throughout the day. See you in a bit. Hi everybody and welcome to the check-in. It's now been over 9 hours since I first applied the foundation. I had such high hopes for the Revolution Pro foundation drops. Maybe I built this up a little bit too much because I am a little bit deflated at the moment. Around about 5 hours, my pores started to look larger, and I did say in my review earlier on that it wasn't the foundation that made my pores look airbrushed. It was as soon as I had put the powder on to set the foundation, everything just looked seamless and blurred and beautiful. As soon as the powder had melted into my foundation, my skin started to become slightly oily and my pores started to look rather large. Also, my skin texture around here just became a little more exaggerated. Now it does still look beautiful, it still looks very flattering on my skin. But my mum came round earlier on and she did notice that it started to go a little bit cakey underneath my eyes. Now I do put foundation underneath my eyes for review purposes. This might have to change because for the last few reviews that I've done, the foundation that I used was not suitable for underneath the eye area. It either went dry or it went really oily or it went cakey. So that is a learning curve for me. Maybe in future reviews I won't put it underneath my eyes, but this really hasn't been suitable for putting underneath the eye area. It has gone a little bit cakey underneath and makes me look a little bit older than I am. So along with the hydrating aspects comes the problem with oily skin. Now I don't think this will last very long on anybody with an oily skin. It's got a very dewy finish, and it also transfers quite badly on anything unless you take powder everywhere you go and continue to set the foundation using the powder all the time. Now, maybe this foundation would have done better with just one layer. If I'd have left it at sheer coverage, then it may have done better, and I am going to try that out, and I will put a comment and an update in the description box a little bit later on. It won't be today or tomorrow, but it will definitely be very, very soon, so keep your eye out for that, and I will let you know if the foundation performs any better with just one layer. So I'm going to take the kids out to the basketball this evening. I am going to continue to wear this foundation. I've got a feeling this is going to slide off my face very soon. Like I said earlier on, I don't think the baking oil was a necessary step where this foundation is concerned. It's dewy enough without the baking oil underneath, so this is a step that I would miss out next time I actually apply this foundation. So I would possibly recommend this to anybody with a seriously dry skin. This is going to give you a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a glow, and a little bit of a hydration throughout the day. Definitely wouldn't recommend this for anybody with oily skin. The jury's definitely still out for me whether I actually love this product or not. I loved it when I first put it on, when there was one coat of it, but I think I may have ruined it by building it up to medium coverage. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the fast-based foundation stick review. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, there's a watermark in this corner. If you click on it, it will take you through to my homepage where you can subscribe. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye!